Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video like up. Hope Valley has always been a place where stories linger, where the echoes of love, loss, and faith seem to hang in the mountain air long after the candles have been blown out. For over a decade, When Calls the Heart has charmed millions with its blend of tender romance and small-town resilience. But now, as whispers ripple through the fandom, something extraordinary is stirring in the heart of Hope Valley. A beloved character from the show's earliest days is finally returning home, 10 years since she last graced our screens. The news of this comeback feels almost mythical, a blend of nostalgia, emotion, and pure Hallmark magic. And if the rumors are true, this return isn't just a cameo. It's a full-circle moment destined to shake up When Calls the Heart as we know it. A decade apart, and the heart still calls 10 years. In Hope Valley time, that's an eternity. Children have grown up, love triangles have burned and healed. And Elizabeth Thornton has journeyed from a timid teacher to a woman who has weathered storms of the soul. Yet through it all, one name has lingered like a soft refrain in the minds of fans: Abigail Stanton. Yes, Abigail, the heart and moral compass of early Hope Valley, is the one everyone's talking about. Portrayed with grace and quiet power by Lori Loughlin, Abigail's return has been a fan wish whispered for years. She wasn't just a character. She was the foundation of Hope Valley's identity. Her courage, her compassion, her unwavering faith, these were the pillars upon which the community stood. When Abigail left the show, it felt like the soul of Hope Valley dimmed just a little. Elizabeth carried the torch, yes. But there was always a sense that someone vital was missing, that the town's mother figure had simply vanished, leaving the townsfolk and the viewers to wonder, would she ever come back? Now, 10 years later, the answer seems to be yes. And it couldn't have come at a more perfect or dramatic time. The timing of a miracle season 13 of When Calls the Heart is shaping up to be a chapter of rediscovery. Elizabeth's love story with Nathan has finally found its rhythm. Rosemary and Lee are adjusting to the joys and challenges of parenthood. And the town itself is changing, growing, modernizing, yet holding fast to its traditions. But beneath that surface of serenity lies tension. A mysterious land dispute threatens the town's future. The new mayor struggles to unite Hope Valley's divided factions. And whispers of a company planning to industrialize the nearby valley send shivers down the spine of the ends. In the midst of all this uncertainty, the sudden reappearance of Abigail Stanton, the town's first true leader, its moral guide, and one of Elizabeth's closest friends, feels like destiny stepping in. She's coming home not just to reconnect, but to rebuild. Imagine it, Elizabeth turning around in the town square, the autumn sun slanting through the mountains, and there, after a decade, stands Abigail, her eyes filled with both pain and peace. The moment would silence Hope Valley itself. No grand speech needed. Just that soft, knowing smile. The scene practically writes itself, and yet it's what When Calls the Heart does best. Emotional simplicity layered with history. What brought Abigail back? Fans are already spinning their theories faster than the coal trains once rumbled through town. What could draw Abigail back after all this time? One rumor suggests that Abigail's son, Cody, now a grown man, has gone missing or found himself in trouble. His story has been an open question for years. The child she raised with such fierce love vanished from the narrative. His absence as mysterious as his mother's. Could this be the catalyst that brings her back? Another theory, and perhaps the more likely one, involves faith and forgiveness. Hope Valley has always been a town of second chances. Abigail herself offered countless people a new beginning. Elizabeth, Jack, Henry, and even the widows who once struggled to survive after the mining disaster. Maybe now it's her turn, after 10 years of silence. She might be returning to make peace with her past, with her community, and with herself. And then there's Henry Gowan. The redemption arc of Henry and his complicated bond with Abigail remains one of the show's most enduring threads. Even after her departure, his dialogue would occasionally hint at her influence. Abigail taught me that faith isn't about forgetting what you've done. It's about believing you can still do good. Henry once said a line that haunted many viewers. Could it be that Henry, broken once more after another loss, is the reason she comes back? Perhaps she hears of his struggles and knows the time has come to stand beside him again. The beauty of their connection was never romantic. It was redemptive. Two flawed souls tethered by grace. If Abigail returns to help him, her reappearance will carry all the emotional weight of a Hallmark miracle. Elizabeth and Abigail, the reunion. We've waited for it's impossible to overstate what the reunion between Elizabeth and Abigail would mean, both for the characters and for fans. Their friendship was the emotional heartbeat of When Calls the Heart's early seasons. Before love triangles and political drama. Before big town investors and emotional cliffhangers, there were simply two women, one widowed, one newly arrived, helping each other through loss, laughter, and learning. Abigail taught Elizabeth that faith and community can heal any wound. Elizabeth taught Abigail that hope never grows old. Their bond was sisterly, maternal, and spiritual all at once, the kind of connection that doesn't fade with distance. So imagine their first scene back together. Elizabeth walking into the cafe or perhaps a new town bakery, only to see a familiar face behind the counter. Turning with that same gentle smile, no dramatic music. Just to old friends, locking eyes, Abigail. Elizabeth whispers. And then the tears, the embrace. The long-awaited silence that says everything. That single moment would send a ripple through Hope Valley and through the hearts of fans who've waited a decade to see it. The town reacts. A mixture of joy and shock for the newer residents of Hope Valley, like Fiona, Faith, and even the younger townsfolk. Abigail is a legend. They've heard her name spoken with reverence, like one of the founders whose presence shaped every stone of the main street. But for the older generation, Henry, Rosemary, Lee, and Bill Avery, her return would strike deep emotional chords. Bill Avery especially might find himself conflicted. Their friendship in the early seasons carried undercurrents of affection and deep respect. Time has hardened him, but seeing Abigail again could remind him of the idealistic man he once was. You brought out the best in people. He might say to her, a little gruff, a little teary. Even me, Rosemary, ever the firecracker, would likely throw herself into planning a grand welcome home celebration, only for Abigail to insist on something simple and heartfelt. Hope Valley doesn't need fanfare, she'd say, with that signature warmth. It just needs faith. Her humility, her steadiness, they'd bring a calm back to a town that's lost itself in modern chaos. And maybe, just maybe, her return would remind everyone, especially Elizabeth, what hope truly means. A new generation meets an old spirit. Magic of Abigail's return lies not just in nostalgia, but in generational storytelling. Hope Valley has changed. It's become more youthful, more diverse, and more ambitious. The children she once comforted are now grown. The town has telephones, automobiles, and new faces. But in a world so transformed, Abigail's timeless wisdom will feel more relevant than ever. She might bond with Allie, Nathan's spirited niece, offering her gentle guidance in matters of courage and heart. She could mentor Faith, who struggled between independence and love. And she could even find herself mentoring younger women who are trying to balance ambition with compassion, a modern reflection of her own journey. Abigail's return would serve as a bridge, connecting the old Hope Valley with the new, the past with the future. The mystery element, what secrets does she carry? No great When Calls the Heart storyline comes without a touch of mystery, and Abigail's return could carry one of the most emotional twists, yet some insiders hint that she's been living in a distant town under a different name, running a small orphanage, or working with displaced families. Her absence, then, isn't just explained. It's transformed into a narrative of purpose. She didn't leave Hope Valley to escape. She left to heal, to serve, to continue doing what she always did best, helping others. But what if there's more? What if her past comes with her? A secret, a letter, a debt unpaid. Perhaps she's been caring for someone connected to Hope Valley, for a child who turns out to be the offspring of someone we thought long gone. Or maybe she's been holding on to a piece of news that could change everything about the town's founding. Or even about Jack Thornton's legacy. A single letter in her hand, a tear in her eye, and a revelation that could ripple across the entire community. That's the kind of emotional storytelling When Calls the Heart thrives on. The Return's reworld meaning. A second chance beyond the fictional world of Hope Valley. This return marks something bigger for both the show and its viewers. It's about forgiveness, renewal, and the belief that no one's story is truly over. In a way, When Calls the Heart has always been a series about redemption. Every major character, from Henry to Bill to Lucas, has faced moments of failure and rebirth. So, bringing Abiga,